Daniel 7 describes 4 beasts who ruled the world. The first is a lion with eagle's wings. This fierce lion represents Babylon, just as the head of gold did in Daniel 2. Babylon ruled the world from 605 BC to 539 BC. By the way, Daniel 2 and Daniel 7 are parallel prophecies. God uses the principles of repetition and expansion in parallel prophecies. In other words, God repeats prophecies using different symbols, and as he does, he expands on the prophecy, giving us the necessary clues and additional information he wants us to know in order to understand the prophecy. The second beast is a bear with 3 ribs in its mouth. The bear represents the Medo-Persian Empire. The 3 ribs are symbolic of the 3 kingdoms conquered by the Medo-Persian armies. Those kingdoms were Lydia, Babylon, and Egypt. Medo-Persia ruled the world from 539 BC to 331 BC. Daniel saw the bear was raised up on one side, indicating one of the 2 kingdoms was stronger than the other, just as one arm is typically more dominant or stronger than the other. The third beast is a leopard having 4 wings and 4 heads. The leopard represents Greece, led by Alexander the Great. The wings represent the speed which young Alexander conquered the world. The 4 heads of the leopard represent Alexander's 4 generals: Cassander, Lysimachus, Seleucus, and Ptolemy. After Alexander's death, these 4 generals divided the kingdom and fought amongst themselves for control of Alexander's empire. Greece ruled the world from 331 BC to 168 BC. The 4th beast was a dreadful, terrible, and exceedingly strong beast with great iron teeth. This beast, with its iron teeth, represents the same kingdom as the legs of iron. Those legs represented the pagan Roman Empire. Then Daniel focuses on the 10 horns of this beast, and coming up among them is another little horn, who destroys 3 of the first horns, as if they were plucked out by the roots. Daniel says, "In this horn were the eyes like the eyes of a man, and a mouth speaking great things." In our last program, we learned the 10 toes of Daniel 2 were the 10 barbaric nations which brought about the destruction of pagan Rome. Those toes are the same as the 10 horns on the 4th beast of Daniel 7. History identifies these 10 barbaric tribes as the Visigoths, Franks, Suvii, Alemanni, Anglo-Saxons, Lombards, Burgundians, Heruli, Vandals, and the Ostrogoths. History tells us these last 3, the Heruli, Vandals, and Ostrogoths, were destroyed through the influence of the little horn as it came into power. Here's where it gets interesting. God has given us additional information in this passage that was not given in Daniel chapter 2. Here God reveals the little horn power coming up among the 10 horns. The little horn of Daniel 7 is the most powerful enemy of God's truth and of God's people on earth today. It's very important to understand who this little horn is, and we'll do so by examining the identifying marks given to us by God himself. When you understand Daniel, you'll be able to understand the book of Revelation, because Daniel is the key which unlocks the secrets of Revelation. Take a screenshot of this information, and remember that the 4 metals in the statue of Daniel 2 and the 4 beasts of Daniel 7 represent the same kingdoms. The 10 toes of Daniel 2 and the 10 horns of Daniel 7 represent the kingdoms that remained after Rome's fall. Please also remember the little horn of Daniel 7 comes up after the 10 horns. Then the little horn plucks up or destroys 3 of those 10 kingdoms. In our next program, we'll see how God gives us everything we need to know in order to identify who this little horn is. May God bless you and your loved ones as you seek to understand God's great prophetic messages, preparing you and your family for the coming events which are soon to take place on planet Earth.